Hi everyone, welcome to this special episode of the SIXiDER Show. And joining me here today we have Kai from Smart Living Gallery.
Hello, I'm Kai.
Yeah. Can you share a little bit more about yourself, what you do at Smart Living Gallery?
I'm actually a marketing manager at Smart Living Gallery. So we are a smart platform. Rather, we house all the different smart brands, reputable of course. Our objective of our company is to make life easier, and we always try to connect all the different smart brands together. If you're familiar with our industry, you'll be familiar with this thing called Matter, and we do have this Matter protocol across most of our products. So to us, there's no best smart brand. We strongly believe that every brand has its own unique potential, and through Matter, we try to connect everything and market it as smart home solutions.
Okay. I think for general audience, right, when it comes to smart technology, they are a little bit fearful. Right? I think they are fearful that it may be A, expensive, B, it may be something that's difficult to maintain after it breaks down, or that they don't know how they do it and suddenly things go wrong. So let's talk about your company, right? How would you say that in terms of your collection or your product design, how is your product offering any different from the rest of the people?
Like I said, we are a platform and we house a lot of different brands. A lot of our competitors generally focus on their own smart brand. They only have one brand and they house all the appliances inside that one brand. I cannot say that they are not doing it very well, but it might not be very seamless when it comes to the integration.
By seamless integration, can you share a little bit more? Like what is seamless versus not seamless?
When we talk about seamless integration, it's just connection through our one app, responsiveness, and how we make it go all together in one app, in one home.
I understand. I think to kind of give a very clear distinction, right? There are smart products. I think people buy maybe those kind of IP camera, that's one.
Correct.
And then that's probably you're using another brand to manage the app and to manage that device. Then after that, then you have maybe a door viewfinder. Then they ping ding dong, that's another app, right? And then after that, then they have their lighting, which the bulb is also a smart bulb. So everything means that you will have to have multiple apps.
Correct.
So what you're saying is that your product actually, everything housed in one app.
We can do that. That's why just now I mentioned that there's this thing called Matter. The Matter compatibility allows us to build the bridges across the different apps. I must first declare there's some limitations to that. Maybe not very specific options, but it's very doable.
And that's why it's important to kind of like talk to
consultants.
Consultant early in the game, because it's better to kind of integrate everything at the early of the renovation.
Correct.
You wouldn't suggest this to happen after reno, right?
Yes and no, because a lot of people are still trying to upgrade their current homes into smart home, but of course there are still newer homeowners that are trying to get into the smart home scene. Come and find us so we can plan all things out together. We have our Smart Living Gallery retail consultants that are very experienced in floor planning, generally how to light up certain parts of the house, how much lights you generally need across a very specific space, and through how many rooms, how many switches, all this kind of thing.
I understand that you have a very new interesting product right now which is related to sensors.
Yes, correct.
You want to share a little bit more about that?
Sure. Okay, so our newest product just launched on the 12th of November is called the Akara Multi-Presence Sensors. There are 5 ways to sense. Firstly, it's presence, motion, temperature, light, and humidity. So using these sensors, I won't go in depth, but you can trigger multiple actions in your smart home. So like controlling the lights, controlling your aircon, control everything, because that's what smart home is like.
Just now I think you also mentioned about motion. So I can imagine like if I have an elderly staying with me, and elderlies usually sometimes at night they want to go to the bathroom, right? And they paiseh, they don't want to turn on the lights, right? And then but it's very dangerous. So with your motion sensor and all that, actually it's going to be very useful.
Yes. I just want to zoom in on these two things. There's a motion and presence sensor. What's the difference, right? Is if you go toilet.
I know this story already.
Hey, please. Maybe you want to tell it.
Okay, so for many NS men who go to the army, right? At one stage, during my NS life, right, they started to install the lights in the bathroom with sensors.
Correct.
Motion sensors. So what happens is that you have stomachache, right? You don't really move. You sit in the toilet bowl, then you just wait until you finish your business. But what happens when you don't move for a sustained period of time, right? The lights turn off.
So imagine you are 9 o'clock in the toilet, in the NSA, suddenly everything just blacks out. Then you need to
Yeah, then you need to do this. So presence means that it knows that it's not about motion, but it recognizes that the form. Is that through heat, infrared, or what?
It's through detectors. So we kind of, that sensor specifically sends out PIR waves or something along those lines. So it detects that you are there.
Yeah.
There's heat in you. It can detect that you are still in the area.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's a more advanced solution. It's sophisticated to a certain extent.
Yes, correct. To give some sharing, this FP300, right? Key thing about this new device, right, is it's very portable. Compared to its predecessor, right, most of the present sensors are wired. So now with the FP300, you can actually plug it anywhere. You don't need any wiring. It can last generally quite well. I would say 1 to 2 years.
Then you charge or what? Oppo battery?
Change battery.
Oh, change battery.
Correct. So it doesn't really take up a lot of the battery, but it depends on how your usage as well, I would say.
You know, a lot of homes these days are getting smaller and smaller, right? Are there any smart products that actually serve more than one function?
So we actually have this Akara G3 hub.
Yeah.
So this hub acts as a security camera, but it can also be a sensor or controller. So how this happens is you can use different gestures. So maybe a twist, high five to automate certain things and trigger action.
So for example, a kid suddenly has a stranger come and he don't want to shout, right? They can send like that.
Yes.
And it will actually maybe call the police. Is that what you're saying?
Well, call police maybe a bit of a stretch. But
Text
yes,
the mother.
Can.
Can
Text the mother. I mean, you can straight away send a notification to your phone but through different means.
Okay, I didn't really know that, but I think that's also very useful. Is there any like personal advice that you can have when it comes to people who want to integrate smart technology into a space?
My best advice is to look at it holistically. Don't just consider the price, because the price, honestly, it will cover, even when you sell your house. While you're doing it, it might a bit
painful.
Honestly, it's not that big of a difference. But you need to consider the value that it brings to your everyday life. It's not just that. You're paying maybe an extra $20 for a light, but then that light will bring you a very long way. See the value that smart home can bring.
I think this is the first time we've launched 3 different categories of products. On the first hand, we have our Solaris series of smart laundry drying racks. So we have Solaris and Solaris Pro series, which are the widest vents in Singapore and the fastest fans. So those are indoor clothes drying racks. Number 2, we have our first foray into handheld cordless vacuums. So we've launched the EvoSonic series, Pro and Ultra Detect, which has automatic dirt detection with a wide range of attachments to be used with them. And I think number 3, we have a refresh for our locks for the 2026 series. So we've got new designs, of course, that complement your home, new colors, as well as our first foray into anti-fingerprint touch glass, inbuilt Wi-Fi, palm vein scanning, a lot of new stuff happening there.
Yeah. Is there anything like PRISM Plus doesn't do? And it's basically right now, I went past your booth yesterday and then I saw that you've got the new fridges with like the glass, frosted glass.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the anti-fingerprint.
Yes, the Inspire series fridges, absolutely. While going into that as well, you have the 4-door or the 2-door series over there, and there's 5 colors of anti-fingerprint glass you can choose from. So you can essentially customize your fridge to suit your home furnishing and your home ID. Yeah.
I'm a fan of PRISM Plus fan.
Oh yeah?
As a designer, most of the time we hate ceiling fans. Why so is because number one, we used to have this problem whereby we will mount ceiling lights, and then after that the ceiling fans blades will cut across the lights,
Flickers.
and then we have flickers and strobe light effects. So and of course many of the older model fans, they tend to be a little bit ornate.
Yes.
But PRISM Plus has a series of fans that are very nice, clean, minimalistic. And they also have light emitting from it.
The Oasis series, you can essentially customize your motor, you can customize your fan shape, fan color, and that's something that we're really looking at is that the modern Singaporean homeowner really wants a degree of added customization. They want to tailor their electronics and their home furnishings to suit the Japandi or like the modern Scandinavian style design that's really popular. And along those lines, we always try to see within the Singaporean context, what are some innovations you can do? So, for example, you said the light should be on the fan. That's because ceilings are low and then there's no space, and then you got to have light points. So that's additionally a factor that we have done.
So, from a benefit point of view, what's really in it for the consumer to have everything PRISM Plus?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I'm sure you've used smart home products back in the day, right? And if you're purchasing products from multiple manufacturers, the main issue is that you've got to manage multiple apps you've got to manage login passwords, you've got to manage different settings. So it's kind of cumbersome to that extent. If you have everything from one brand, the unified ecosystem makes it easier for you to always be aware of what new products are launching. B, you can manage everything from one phone app. You can share it with your family. And it's just less stress. The main idea of having smart home products in your house is to make your lives easier, right? And then you have multiple applications, really complicates that sort of feeling. At the same time, of course, it's not just about the unified app. I think all the products that we've designed are with a lot of attention to the Singaporean home and Singaporeans in general and their purchasing patterns and their pain points and their needs, which might be underserved by global brands who are serving, say, a one-size-fits-all approach, right? Something that works in the US might not work in Singapore, works in Korea, might not work in Singapore. So we're really localizing some of those micro-innovations. And they might not look like a lot, but as you stack those micro-innovations, it really helps us have products that are better fit for the market.
One of the pet concern that a lot of homeowners have, especially when it comes to things like smart lock, is they worry that what happens if the battery dies and I have no access to the home, or I'm at home and I have no access and there's fire and things break out and then I cannot get out of the house. So they become a very deterring kind of factors, right? And right now, the interesting, or rather what my observations are, is that when Prism Plus sells these products this way, by and large, as long as you start to kind of accumulate more and more Prism products, right, you can actually enter into the ecosystem and start to live smart without them knowing it, actually.
You're very right about that. I think there are 2 points there you asked, right? One is about sustainability and the other is fail-safes for the locks and other products. I think I'll take the second question first. So for the locks, of course, it's a security product and we do have fail-safes built in. So for example, for the battery itself, at 20%, it's going to remind you to charge it. And so that's going to be about 3-4 weeks of usage, depending on how often you're using it. So it's going to remind you, number one. Number two, if you still forget to charge it after all the reminders, you're going to get a phone notification, every few times when it dips.
Is it on your phone or the device will go off with a alarm?
Both. Yeah, at 20%, you're going to get a notification on your phone.
Nice.
And every time you unlock it, it's going to remind you to charge it, right? It's kind of irritating, but we built it in to prevent lockout situations from happening. But if you still forget to charge it, there's a USB-C port below the front end of the locks, and then you can just jumpstart it
with a battery,
with a power bank. Actually, we even built in a feature where 0.5 amps is enough to just jumpstart and get in. So you can use your phone, you can connect a power cable, and you can unlock it because you might not always be carrying a power bank.
Nice.
And of course, we do have an emergency key for everything. But along the fire safety question, so we are fully compliant. Our door locks are fully compliant with the SIDF fire code, which requires there to be a manual quick exit in case there's a fire and for the lock to be able to withstand 30 minutes or 1 hour.
So it's fire rated, meaning that for instances where there are HDB flats and then you have the doors that are fire rated, it's kind of ironic that the digital lock is not fire rated.
Absolutely.
So in this case, once you have the door fire rated and then your lock is using Prism Plus digital door locks, the whole fire rating is complete.
Absolutely. It's actually a hard SCDF requirement from last year onwards, 2024 onwards, where if your current HDB already has a fire-rated door, the lock you install in it must be a fire-rated door lock. And if it's a 30-minute fire-rated door, it needs to be a 30-minute rated lock or more.
Oh, okay. So you, of course, can overspec.
You can overspec, yeah. You have a 30-minute door, you can install a 1-hour lock.
Right.
People do want a consolidated ecosystem. So more and more people prefer to purchase our products because we have a unified app, right?
Nice.
Number one. Number two, we really focus a lot on the design. So we have Prism Labs at our Ubi office where we actively work on new concepts, prototyping, and we try to develop products from the scratch up that solve unique Singaporean problems. And along those lines, one of the problems, or rather I would say solutions, is customization. So we offer extensive customization for fridges, for fans, for other products. Even our air conditioners have multicolors, like many colors now, you can customize it. And I think number four, sustainability, right? As you said, we've tried to incorporate brushless DC fans in our fans and our ceiling fans and our laundry racks, which are more power efficient. Our washers and dryers are also extremely power efficient and water efficient. I think as climate change happens, people are more cognizant about purchasing products that are better on the environment and their pockets as well, of course, with low power consumption. Yeah.
Think about sustainability, especially with many Singaporeans experiencing rather so-called energy saving or sustainable products. Pretty much earlier, about like the 10-15 years ago, and you see them in the ticks, and you see it in the eco labeling system, right? But the notion is that these are usually, it comes with a price tag. So to many occupants, whenever they think of upgrading with the sustainable angle in mind, they may feel that they're getting punished you know. But are you guys addressing it in the sense that making it affordable, making it economical?
Of course, our products are designed with the 3-4 ticks, which is the minimum government requirement at this point. We are designing them to be as power efficient as possible because we understand that the average Singaporean consumer is very smart and they're value conscious. So they will evaluate the annual power consumption of the product, number one. Number two, the government's also helping us, right? And retailers like us. You have the climate vouchers, which are put in for consumers to purchase more power efficient products and devices. And then along those lines, we have definitely tried to offer offer bigger discounts for customers to purchase those kinds of products which are more power efficient.
I really enjoy what you're sharing because basically you guys have grown quite substantially. But I think there's a lot of sophistry when it comes to like procurement, thinking about why you're bringing this product and then what is it offering for the the market in Singapore. But I also know that you guys are not just in Singapore, you're in Malaysia, you're in Australia,
Philippines as well.
So we've talked about local living realities. You mentioned about how the ecosystem and how everyone's kind of basically, as they continue to kind of add on appliances for the home, they eventually become user of the ecosystem. I kind of see it like integration from a post-renovation point of view. Like they can buy stuff and add on later.
Absolutely.
But what about pre-renovation? Now, when we talk about smart home, right, there are certain things like integration with wirings and all that. Is this something that Prism Plus would enter into?
I think just a side topic before we go into that. Almost 100% of our installation is done internally. So we're able to maintain a very high degree of quality and say uniformity to that sense. If you're asking about whether we would get into say smart lighting or smart switches, I would say that I probably can't tell you here, but it definitely would be on the cards because we do want to focus on all the pain points that the Singaporean consumer is facing in their home, everything between the floor and the roof, and try to solve those pain points.
Nice.
So if you look at most people purchasing door hardware, right? What color do you think they purchase?
Black.
No, actually most people, when you go to a hardware shop and you ask them, the most popular color is nickel silver. Like a silver color door handle for their bedrooms, for their doors. It's very obvious, right?
Yep.
And so we decided that we would be the first to launch a nickel silver smart lock.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason, when the product is smart, people prefer darker colors.
Why?
I don't know also.
No, it's interesting because now that you mention it, right? Like when we open our cabinet doors, all our hinges are basically in that silver color. Right, it's a silver color. And then I've never really seen a smart door lock with that sash in silver, and you guys have that range.
We have that range, yes. But for some reason, the darker colors are more popular with customers. So we learn everything. We try to go by basic principles now, first principles. We try to see what the consumer wants and just serve them better.
Singgate is actually a local company, has been around like 9 years, and we are specialized for digital locks. So all these years, like the fingerprint, password, RFID cards, key, Wi-Fi, mobile app, for us is actually like the basics. However, nowadays a lot of elderlies always having issue to face, like fingerprints, or they have difficulties, maybe they lost the cards. Therefore, why face recognition and palm recognition is actually invented. And due to COVID, right, that's why we invented the palm. Because a lot of people are actually wearing the mask, you're not able to scan the face without removing it. Therefore, palm recognition is something new, should be introduced to the market, I think.
I see. Let me rewind. Okay, you say the typical one is your like thumbprint.
Right.
Then you have the RFID. Then RFID is like the card, right?
Yes, the card.
Then the password.
PIN code.
And then you got facial recognition.
Yes, definitely.
And then you have the palm.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you mentioned that the face one is because sometimes we wear masks.
Right.
And then what about the palm? What happens if you injured?
Basically, regarding palm vein, right? If it's injured, like a huge portion, right? Of course, it doesn't work. But most likely, it's actually based on the vein scanning.
Right.
So as long as a bit of cut is perfectly fine. But if you have any like injuries, you have got something to patch up the cover, then maybe you have to use other methods. Will be better. For all this facial recognition, it is not just 3D scanning. It's actually based on a living person. So if you use any sort of photocopy, I know that AI nowadays are very strong. You use tablets, right? It doesn't unlock. And sometimes we even so-called like give customers a bit of challenge. If you have twins, we welcome you to do the same setup, like the hair or everything, right? One registered, one is not. You can give it a try. So that's how confident we are for the facial.
Okay, so that means two facial almost the same one, but the system can still detect.
Yes.
So it's like a bit like our SingPass. When we register, we have to do like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because my 300 point of your face structure, right? If let's say you have a pimple over here, that is actually swollen, you might not be able to unlock as well. That's how precise it is.
And again, I'm trying to be a bit funny here.
It's okay, sure.
I've seen some of these Facebook or TikTok posts where this lady went to put on heavy makeup.
Right.
And then after that, right, when they are trying to go through custom, right, the system cannot detect. So she has to remove the makeup.
Right. Okay. Regarding this, right, as long as the facial structure have no changes, actually you don't have to worry at all. Even you just join those animate show, you go for cosplay, right? As long as the structure is still the same, you are able to unlock.
Okay.
Only for guys, one thing. If you suddenly go and cut bald heads, right, then you need to do it.
Oh,
Let's say now I have fringe, suddenly I become botak, then cannot lah.
I see. So of course, ideally is you like have a clean face.
Yes. When you register, even like ladies, like Malays, they have tudung, right? So it's perfectly fine because the face is actually quite clear. At the beginning of the year, right, when I first started biometrics fingerprint, if you do realize, not just on digital locks, if on your phone as well, any moisture or if your fingerprint is faded, right, you will have the difficulties to scan. And one more thing is because we want it to be safe, therefore we adjust the accuracy up to 99%. Therefore, a bit of slightly changes, you are failed to unlock. Yeah, so things always have pro and con. So it depends on what you are looking for. Nowadays, like for our locks, minimum, there's actually 7 unlocking methods. So like facial, palm recognition, fingerprint, password, RFID card, key, and Wi-Fi mobile app. So definitely you will not run out of options to open basically.
There are a lot of players in the market that also sells the digital locks and all that. How does SIXiDES position itself, like in terms of form factor, right? Are there unique features like maybe the size, the slimness?
Right, okay, regarding this, right, Singgate, how we differentiate ourselves in the market, because we always say that we are actually the local brand. So when we talk about local brand, right, we must ensure something that no matter customers staying in a mature estate, or even they have a very close gap between the door and gate, right, we are the only one in Singapore that can fit any estate. So you just name the door, we can definitely fit yours. And if already purchased, cannot fit, we fully refund to you. So it's perfectly fine. No rust. No worries at all.
I think there's an added benefit for like the elderly, especially if they are staying alone. If they are staying alone and they have digital locks, right? And for example, let's say touch wood but let's say something happened and they have an accident, they fall down, they manage to call their kids for help. But the kids don't have keys to the property. Maybe because the keys are left at home, they take bus, then they go to that place, or they took a cab, right? They just don't have the keys, right? This is where the digital lock is going to make the difference.
Okay, so when talk about digital locks, right, why we come up with the mobile app is actually for this purpose. Because for elderly, right, you don't expect them to download the app to do remotely unlock, but this is actually an addition, so-called like an alternative for your parents. For your kids, whoever actually download the app, even you're not staying with your parents, it's good to have the access in case anything happens, or maybe like your neighbor noticed that your mom's is actually fainted. You can directly remotely unlock, which is actually make things much easier. So what we really emphasize for Singgate is actually the quality of the lock. For example, nowadays a lot of people would say, hey, our lock is actually made of aerospace, aluminium, but to be honest, it depends on the thickness and how do you do the precision cutting to form the locks, so you have a premium finishing and it's really solid, and that's why you can see the price difference from there.
Local situations, we have sometimes people who are doing, let's say, Lazada or Foodpanda deliveries.
Right.
You could be in the bathroom, you could be away from your home, in the office and all that. And there may be, or even situations where you open the door for people to come and do cleaning for your home. How safe is this? Because I know you can give one-time password and let them come in, right? But is it really safe for them?
For one-time password, right, it really depends on how you set up the thing. Of course, one-time password you can also set within in a repetition. So for example, every Monday, Wednesday or Friday from 9 to 12, you can put it that way. Or if you don't want to hassle, right, you just put a remote unlock. So which means that anybody go over, press the doorbell, you just unlock for them, will you?
One time.
The unlock is anytime you like. You can access the mobile app anytime as you like, but if OTP is only one time.
I see. So what you're saying is that if you have a regular schedule with your cleaner, 135, you know they are coming in.
You can preset.
But on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Saturday and Sunday, they have no access one.
Exactly.
So 135, if anything goes wrong, you know it's because of them, because they came at 135.
Exactly. And also at the same time, if they are late, they are not able to use as well.
Oh, okay. So then you can also do like you can track them based on like their hourly rate.
Hourly
stuff.
rate lah. That's right. So they cannot say that they want to extend. Oh, when owner's not here, I want to OT, chill a bit, but cannot. After that, if they don't go out, they cannot go out anymore.
Are there any other smart appliances that Singgate sells as well?
Besides locks, right, we actually do automated racks, and also we do smart curtains. We are trying to slowly move into smart home, smart automation. But now focusing more towards is actually like door and gates, a laundry rack, and smart curtain. The basic things that we always have is like the blowers with heaters, and of course UV, LED light. So these are the essential must-have for
消毒 one 啊，the
消毒
UV
一定
lights.
要有的。So ionizer is pretty much the same as the UV. So you can choose either one. Let's say with ionizer, you don't need UV. We have UV, you don't need ionizer. So it depends on your budget and what you're really looking at.
Are they heavy in electrical consumption?
Oh, definitely not. Because for ours, right, everything is well timed. So even the blowers with heater, it only runs for 2 hours. So UV light 30 minutes. Based on customers' feedback, after using for 3 months, right, the increment for consumption is about $15 to $20. So it wasn't that much if you compare to an actual heater or dryer itself.
Yeah, dryers actually take very long to.
It is
yeah.
90 minutes at least.
And the volume of clothes that you can put inside, right?
Have to reduce.
Have to reduce.
Let's
It's
say
quite
you
limited.
wash 10 kilo, you only can put 5 kilos or 7 kilos into the dryer if you want it to be efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Nowadays, I know everybody's actually concerned by the fire rated, like doors, BTOs nowadays, it has to be fire rated. So, like I mentioned, if I want to make sure that I have a lock that can fit, so-called like fits for all estates, I will definitely come out with the ultra slim model like currently, which we already have, the FR60, and we will actually take fire rated cert to make it certified. So therefore, any estates, you no longer have any difficulties. Just to change your lock, you got to change your door and gate. You don't have to go through that hassle.
I know people get digital lock for the main door and gates and all that. From a personal point of view, are there like clients with very unique requests that say that my bedroom also need to have digital lock?
Yes, there is.
How come?
Especially those are landlords, they rent out their room. The master bedroom, usually they will prefer to put on the digital locks so that it makes things easier and have the privacy. So they don't have to worry people will actually hack in their room. Because for those who do locks, right, you should know a card can actually unlock the bedroom door quite easily. Yeah, so having a digital would actually give them more safety and they don't have to worry about that. So even if someone access, you can also get the phone notification as well. Besides digital locks for home usage, right, we actually do for offices as well. Like those EM lock, you go office, nowadays you don't need punch card anymore.
Yeah.
When you want to enter your office, you're going to scan your face with palm.
Yeah.
So it's make things much easier for everybody. So even sometimes you got elderly, you don't really have to have difficulties to scan.
Yeah.
Just the facial, just look at the camera, unlock within a second.
So does this come with an app in the sense that we can also use it to kind of manage payroll, for instance?
Payroll, maybe not. That one haven't yet, because you can actually download it with a USB port. You can just plug it in, download the system.
So it's
Excel.
like a CSV You see basically all
that's right.
all the timestamps.
Yeah.
I come from the audiences, the masses angle. We're not smart. We also don't know how smart the tech is, what's available out there. But you being such a credited, a successful ID in your industry, tell us more about how smart homes has gravitated or
Evolve lah.
You can actually turn on your lights from your office, set the temperature, turn on the aircon, and
Climate
that's
control,
it. That's it.
No, it's actually more sophisticated than that. I think in the past when we watch TV, right, then they say that they want to turn off the light, they do this. Then the lights will turn off.
Right.
That's like the most crude way to kind of say, or rather control lights. Of course,
Voice control also.
Yeah, but Alexa, Amazon Alexa or Google Home or even Apple.
So what else?
Actually, the reality is that just now, before you, right, there were other suppliers who came for the podcast. One of them actually mentioned about presence. Meaning there is actually sensors that can detect that you have arrived and they know who you are. You want what? For example, let's say,
want what?
Yeah, you want what? Meaning let's say for example, you're the type who 不可以热的. Then my mother is 不可以冷的. So what happens is that they can detect my presence, right? They will adjust automatically to make me feel comfortable. And this could be climate, lighting, and even sound. So the sound volume cannot be past a certain volume, lighting cannot pass a certain brightness. Yeah. So that's presence. It's not motion detection. So it's very sophisticated. And the thing is, right, the reality is you cannot anyhow plan this after reno. This should be done with ID in consideration.
Right.
And that's why actually in our booth, right, we have 4 design firms.
Right.
We have Dots and Tots, Spruce Interiors, WT Plus, and Sky Creation. All 4 of them are verified interior designers, and they know how to integrate smart technologies into your interior space.
Like what you mentioned just now.
Yeah. So you can get the supplier lah, but you still need to think about the wiring, how to conceal. Right. It cannot be an afterthought, right? Because you want to have that kind of like that kind of a presence sensoring. You must do it together with the interior designer.
So that's what differentiates them from the rest of the players in the market, right?
Yeah.
And that's where you come in to actually verify their what they can deliver lah.
Correct. Yeah. Solid You know the difference. A lot of people may not get it. Like presence versus motion, right? Motion is you go in when the lights turn on. But then after a while, if you don't move, the lights will turn off. That's motion. So those are useful for what? Let's say
a lot of hotels use that.
玄关嘛, your foyer you come in, you turn on. 因为你刚好穿鞋脱鞋，那就是那几十秒。But 你 imagine 要是你在厕所，你在看你的报纸，那你不动的吗？
你还有报纸看吗？
没有报纸啦 But for example, let's say 你看你手机 handphone. So if you don't move after a while, the lights turn off. The sensor, then you will need to wave so that the thing knows you're around. That's motion sensor. Presence sensor is very different. Presence sensor is that it knows you. So it's very advanced really.
Yeah, so whether it's noise, whether it's temperature, whether it's I don't know,
lighting.
Yeah. So all this come to SIXiDES, and they will probably advise you what's available on the table.
Yep. We will recommend designers for you to have that first conversation. Then of course they understand what you require. Then they can decide. Of course, not everyone needs such a full-blown thing, right? 可能小两口不需要这么多。
Wait, so one more thing. Today I know, wow, okay, you can, motion, lighting and all that. I am wowed already.
Yeah.
So one more thing is paying customers. We normally have, not everybody will have a very good experience with the contractors. When it comes to payment, some even like, wanting advance payment or loan or whatever you know. So on that aspect, can actually SIXiDES come in to mediate that sort of stuff?
Since this is a smart home tech show, right? Firstly, let me address how SIXiDES and you have our first handshake. Right, so digitally you can go to our website, right, and you can browse through our directory of designers. In many of the designers that we list up, right, we have done the audit check. After we audit, we actually award badges. So the badges, right, when you mouse over the badges, right, you can see what they are awarded. So for example, this person, right, is actually an award-winning designer. Or whether this design firm, right, actually have designers in the company that are actually teaching in NAFA or teaching in NUS as a professor. Think about it, you go to a firm, right, that actually has a designer who teach in reputable schools in Singapore, 你是不是更加有信心？
不一定。那些教演戏的都不会演戏的。
这个我不知道，我没有讲啊，我没有说。
真的。
对啊。But the reality 是
老师来演戏的。
But to a certain extent, they're more credible and we do the homework. We do a homework for the first part, so you can use our platform to study. The other one is many homeowners also want to know how much things will cost before they even commit. So before even they meet the designers, right, we actually have this online quotation system called eQuote. So 简单的问题 you answer in less than 3 minutes, right, you'll be able to know how much your things will cost. That's smart. But besides that, right, that's just the first part. After we know what you want, we will then recommend what kind of designers. Again, the designers are verified by us already. We verify already, we match you up. Then after that, we also have another feature, which is this group of designers that we match you up. If they are preferred partners, right, then what we have for them is actually the deposit guarantee up to $50,000. Meaning, let's say 那个 homeowner 给了deposit 的钱，他们不用担心 that the homeowner or the ID 会拿了钱跑掉。Because we will give you the insurance of up to $50,000.
So you're like you're the insurance lah.
Insurance. I think today, like you go Lazada, you go Shopee, right? You want to use a platform, right? You want to make sure that the platform can give you some kind of assurance and predictability and assurances.
A lot of people, like just now my question to you though.
Yeah.
They fall out and then who's right, who's wrong. Hey, it's a painful experience.
Yeah. We know it is, and we're trying to make it as smooth as possible. But the reality is that we know homeowners will still want to research, and that's where the platform is going to help. Research all you want. When you're comfortable, we will recommend you the designers, then you can meet up, and then at the same time we will offer the guarantee for you so that you have peace of mind?
I honestly feel that what people are looking for should not be just designs or product. I think a lot of people are looking for a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Or rather, it's I don't know if it's a first-time home buyer or everybody's excited about a new home. So that experience must be as perfect as possible.
It's important to make sure that we don't get too emotional when we are doing home renovation. It's easier said than done lah. Many a times, especially if you are a first-time homeowner, right? The experience is very emotional one. It's not logical one. You start to think about 我的梦想家
I tell you something honestly. Sometimes, I mean, I'm not saying it shouldn't be one-sided, but sometimes there are some delays in deliverance by one contractor or another contractor. So how does SIXiDES come in to mediate?
Truth be said, right, we can only mediate when there is a reaction, meaning things happen already. We haven't reached a point whereby we can anticipate future-proof or predict that things will go wrong. But that's something that we're working towards too. But at this present moment, right, if issues happen, right, then SIXiDES will definitely come out, and especially if this is our designer that we recommend, we'll mediate. We'll try to understand what went wrong, and we'll try to find a solution. What I mean by this, right, is either if it's a supplier-related issue, then because we have a wide range of other suppliers, right, if this supplier got a problem, we'll bring in other suppliers to kind of help so that we can speed up the process for you. It does happen. The other factors that may not be able to contribute is that the supply of certain goods may be due to shipment. And those kind of issues we really cannot do too much. We will, as much as possible, give you assurance that they are not giving you fake or scammy lies. We'll mediate, right? We'll find out, is this true or not? Really shipment issue or not? And it's a global problem. Because last time really got copper shipment issues. Shortage. And then so it's not just affecting us, right? It's a global problem. And then we will give you a clarity on that. It's like, this is a legit problem, and then nobody's trying to scam you. Yeah, that's our role lah. That's why you go to a platform.
I totally like what SIXiDES is offering. But for doing so much, what's in for SIXiDES actually?
Well, at the end of the day, we don't really have a business model or rather a revenue model with our end user, which is the consumers or homeowners. Our system is actually a subscription model that we work with our designers as well as our merchants. So they subscribe. It's like yellow pages lah. You flip. Everyone that's inside there, right? They will pay to join. So that's our model with them.
So
right?
you're like a bank lah. You sell trust lah.
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah.
That's a very nice way to put it, Tucker.
Fantastic. Good job.
Thanks, Tucker.
Thank you. Remember SIXiDES.
Thank you.
We are actually pushing for a lot more awareness on the current products and brands. For example, our latest product that was launched 2 years ago, 2024, Dulux Ambience All Air Clean. So this product actually helps to reduce harmful pollutants in your household, specifically formaldehyde. So it actually transforms it into water vapor when all these harmful pollutants touch the wall surface. So that's like a new innovative technology that we have.
Harmful toxicants in the interior space touches it and it converts it into water vapor.
Yes, exactly.
So it purifies the air simply just by being around.
Yeah. So it's a 24/7 air purifier. It's like what I like to call it. Yeah.
Nice. In interior design speak, right, this is known as a passive activity. Meaning, you don't need electrical sockets, wires, you don't need any form of plug-ins. The product by itself is a paint, which is with any color that you want, but it actually passively performs that function.
Yes.
Wow. I would assume because paint, you cover it in a large surface area, the more coverage you have, the better the performance.
Not exactly, but it provides 24/7 protection for your home.
Yeah.
So it doesn't only help you to remove formaldehyde after renovation, right? It's a continuous process even as you live in the home. So isn't it something great? Like you paint one time and then you constantly refresh your air day in, day out. I think it's quite value for money.
Paint, right? Sometimes you have things like abrasion, you rub it. Would it lose its efficacy if, let's say, I scrape the paint surface to a certain extent? Would it?
I would say, try not to, overly scratch the paint surface. But actually, most of our paints are fitted with easy wash functionality. So when you have like stains or drawings from your kids on the wall, it's easy to clean. So it shouldn't require so much effort or scrubbing to remove all these scuff marks or minor stains.
So daily wear and tear. Let's say there's a doodle done by the kid. and take water and then wipe off, that's basically still protects the integrity
Yes.
and the function. We don't lose its efficacy. That's to a certain extent an everyday benefit. Now let's talk about what about the color ranges. Is this particular product limited to a certain range of colors, or anything that's in the catalog basically can have this ambiance function?
Yeah, so actually we have over 2,000 colors for you to choose from for most of our interior paints. So I think honestly you'll be spoiled for choice. Yeah, so if you want the narrowed down list, it will be probably that 100 over in our color inspiration book.
The cool thing is, of course, the designers can be the one to plan now.
Yeah.
But I also know that you guys have launched your color of the year.
Yes.
I know this is like a hallmark, our tradition with Dulux. Every single year, you guys will choose the color of the year.
Yeah.
What's the color of the year this year?
So interestingly this
Oh,
year,
2026, not this year.
yes, correct. For the coming year, 2026, instead of having just one color, we decided to launch 3. So it's called the Rhythm of Blues. So it's 3 different shades of blues. So we have Mellow Flow, which is a grayish blue, Pure Blue, which is a very vibrant, electric blue, and then Slow Swing, which is a very, very, very deep blue, as
Yeah.
you can see on our catalog here.
This is the very deep blue. This is...
No, the center one would be Pure Blue.
Oh.
Free Groove, the Pure Blue, yeah.
Okay, so these are the 3 colors, and then you have the dark color one, the middle, the light color one, and the middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 grooves.
So instead of
Yeah.
one
Mellow Flow. and
one particular color of the year is actually a family of 3 blue colors.
Yes, correct.
Nice. And I think this color catalog actually shows the different interpretation or color combinations.
Yeah.
It's not about sustainability and durability. Now, of course, sustainability is a very big thing these days. We talk about it from a maybe recycling and all that, right? But let's say we talk about paint, right? People should be more concerned about the health and wellness of the interior space.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, for ambience or air clean, it actually helps to purify the air. So it creates a healthier and safer living space for your home, right? Because instead of having all these harmful pollutants around that you breathe in and breathe out daily, like both you, your children, your loved ones, it has to purify to water vapor, which is much more, neutral. It doesn't harm the body. And on top of that, that's just interior paints, right? For exterior paints, on top, outside of your wall, actually most of our HDB flats are painted with exterior paint that have keep cool properties. So all this actually reflects heat away from the building. So it helps reduces electrical usage used to cool down the buildings. So both interior and exterior wise, we actually have technologies to help, in that sense, create a more sustainable environment, a more livable environment for all of us.
Yeah, like if we were to talk about smart technology or smart home tech, right? I think the furthest in your mind would be to associate paint performing a smart function.
Yeah.
Based on what Valerie just described, right, is that paint can perform in a passive manner. Again, without electricity, without any power sockets and all that, it can perform a function. Reducing the temperature, the ambient heat from outside means that you lower your consumption of aircon or cooling devices. Then of course that means you don't spend so much on electrical bills. And then the other thing is that if you have a air purifying paint in your interior space, means that you can do away with your mechanical ventilations like your air purifiers. So this does the job as well. And maybe even if let's say you are not very keen on plants, because plants also do that function, which is basically to purify the air. But not everyone has a green thumb, so paint can do that job. I want to add one more factor. As an interior designer, I know besides this, in terms of health and wellness, right, paint has a psychological impact on the occupants as well. You agree?
Agreed. The colours really invoke a different kind of mood. Like for example, when you step into a place where it's bright yellow, don't you feel a little bit more uplifted compared to somewhere it's dull, it's dark? Okay, some people like the mysterious dark kind of aesthetic, sure. But personally, I think I prefer something a little more cool, calm, uplifting pastel, that brightens your mood as you go home and rest, wind down and all that. So yeah.
I do have 2 colours that I really like. In fact, I have three colours in different shades one. If it's neutral, I like barley white. That's an all-time classic. In fact, I know many developments when they hand over a project condo, their base colour is just barley white. And it's not left blank white. They do barley white so that it makes the occupants feel that, wow, really there was some paint job done to the space, and they feel that the project is finished already to a certain extent. White colour still feels that it's not done yet. The second colour I like is actually spicy salsa. Not sure if you know that. It's a reddish colour, very rich colour. I really know my Dulux colour. The third one is actually a very dark color we call silver mink, right? And then that one's when you have when you're going for a monochromatic theme, you can go for that silver mink. So please hire me as your spokesperson. I'm very happy to promote Dulux.
Aren't you already?
To a certain extent, yes lah. Okay, any future direction, any more other passive, smart technology that you know of that Dulux is actually doing and bringing to the market?
I think we do have a few product innovations coming out in 2026, so stay tuned for that. I can't reveal too much because embargo, but we, as we develop paint, we always want to, make it smarter, and now we already have most low VOC, anti-mold and all that, so I'll keep you in suspense on what's coming up next.
Dulux is a major player in the global scene. If I'm not wrong, Dulux is actually ranking top three as a paint provider, or rather wall covering provider. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of R&D done, a lot of solutions that's gonna kind of enhance and increase the value of our lives. Okay, so lastly, as a personal question, is there any case studies, anecdote that you think paint plays a part in the interior space and it changed your life or the people around you who have used paint in that kind of manner?
Before joining this company, I never thought that paint actually could do so much for home. But actually, upon learning more as I did a job, I realized that actually paint, this kind of thing, is the most affordable thing you can do. You paint one time, right? $2,000, few $1,000, and then you get the constant benefits of it as you live in the home over the years, right? I mean, of course, you buy air fresheners and all that, right? You still have to maintain, have to upkeep them, replace them. Of course, paints you also have to update. But I think in that sense where you do it once and then you reap the benefits of air purifying over like 3 to 5 years before you do another refresh, I think that is a benefit that we tend to overlook, right? Because when you do home renovations, paint is really such a small component compared to your carpentry and all that, right? And most people think it's just color, but it's honestly not just color. There's so much additional benefits you can get for it that you just don't realize. Yeah, so I think that's something that I really appreciate or learned being in this company. And also, I think when it comes to paint, like you mentioned, mood, I think that's something that really should spend a bit more time to think about, right? Because these days, with a bit more work from home arrangement, right? You're spending more time at home. You want to kind of like cater different colors to suit different moods, different environments. Like maybe your kitchen can be something a little bit more upbeat, but maybe your bedroom something a little bit more toned down for resting. I think that's something that we don't really think about, because in Singapore, what do we tend to choose? Just white law, right?
Play
Boring.
safe,
yeah. But then I think there's so much to do with playing with colors to invoke certain emotions, and I will honestly encourage everybody to refresh your bedroom colors or your home colors every 3 to 5 years or something. Add a little bit of spice. If not, life is really very boring. It's just everything white.
100% agree. Adding to what Val said, right? We are wired to kind of like appreciate colors. Let me set an example. If you are, in the Nordic countries, right, there are 4 seasons, and white is actually the reset mode, because you have spring, summer, autumn, then winter. So nature will reset. Everything dies. Then there's hibernation. But white color kind of like resets everything. And what's the next season that comes along? Spring. And in spring you see colors.
Yeah.
So in a way, right, if you live in a cold climate country, right, actually white it will wear you down to a certain extent. So it is a reprieve when you see colors. So to a certain extent, not saying white has no value, but we are not wired to stay in a white environment.
Yeah, that's why there's something called winter depression. No?
Exactly.
When you don't see the sun, you don't see any colors, it's all just moody and white.
Exactly. They've also kind of like, in popular culture, they made movies, right? Torture room, paint everything in white. No door, and then you go mad in that kind of white room, right? So really unique colors. Hope you've enjoyed what we've shared so far, besides what Val shared, right? All the other participants and merchants that we had in the Smart Home Tech Show. Thank you, Val.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.